Hello everyone. Well, this is it. We're about to embark on another adventure.
That's right, Nelson. We got our bags packed, camera ready. We're about to hit the Battle Trail.
Yes, we are. We're heading down to New Mexico to the world's biggest powwow. We're going to put the wow in powwow.
Well, here we are, Nelson. We've made it to the Gathering of Nations powwow.
It was a long drive, more than 24 hours, but so worth it.
That's right. Here we are at the University of New Mexico.
And this is the reason why we are here.
This is the 27th annual Gathering of Nations.
Thousands of First Nations and Native Americans from every corner of North America are here for the largest Indigenous gathering in the world.
We'll share that experience with you right after these messages.
Don't go away.
This Indigenous Circle special program is brought to you by the University of Saskatchewan.
This is a dream come true for grass dancer Chris Standing. He has always dreamed of dancing at the world's biggest powwow, and now he's doing it.
I just got to say, you got to experience it for yourself.
Chris is among 2,000 dancers at the 2010 Gathering of Nations. This is where Native Americans and First Nation Canadians come together as one. Organizer Derek Matthews has devoted more than 20 years to the event, now in its 27th year.
Gathering of Nations is just what it says. It's all these tribes and bands from across Canada and the United States, and they come together and sing and dance.
While it may be a dream come true for Chris, dancing is only one important aspect of the young man's life.
I'm enrolled at the U of S at the Native Studies Department, and just recently I got a job at the Department of Academic Family Medicine as a researcher, and it's my last year of school.
Like most students, Chris is devoted to his studies. He spends countless hours in class and with his books. But his culture figures into everything he does.
When I was 5 years old, I went to a powwow on the reserve with my mom. It was an indoor powwow in the winter. And then I wanted to dance, so she bought me a $5 outfit. It was like pretty plain, eh? It had no beadwork, had no roach, had no moccasins. So I just put my shoes on, I just danced as much any travels as I could, and then here it is 20 years later.
The university's Native Studies department encourages students to excel in their education, but they also want them to remain connected to their cultural roots. When he was asked by the university to attend the gathering, he eagerly accepted, knowing the experience would be about more than just dancing.
Powwow is not the only equation for identity for our people. We need to reconnect to the land. We need to reconnect to our ceremonies, our elders, and our language to maintain a strong identity.
As he walks through the hallways and grounds of the University of Saskatchewan, Chris knows he is not walking alone. His journey follows in the footsteps of his ancestors. The perfect opportunity to share his own Indigenous background.
The people that come to Gathering of Nations come from all walks of life in all directions of Turtle Island.
Turtle Island, or Mother Earth, an integral part of the lives of Indigenous people everywhere.
If you travel the world, you'll find that very similar all over the world, that Indigenous people, pretty much based upon the environment that they live, the similarities, the culture, the traditions are very much the same.
The Gathering of Nations takes place every spring. It's a time for renewal.
So I think this is a good thing that uplifts us, especially for me since I'm going to university.
It's also been a long road for organizers, months of planning from the smallest detail to staging the actual show.
The production is way bigger than it is in any other powwow. That's why it's the biggest powwow in the world. Like, you have the top-notch security, you got the first-class venue, you have lighting and sound at a huge, I don't know what the budget is, but it must be a huge amount. The prize money is about the same for like any other powwow, but the singing and dancing is the same just like any other place I've been to.
In years past, the gathering took place indoors in a basketball stadium dubbed The Pit. 2010 marks the first production outdoors.
We're excited about being out here. We really think it was time for a breath of fresh air.
I like it. It's just different because it's outdoors, but I'd rather have it indoors because the sun.
There are many tribes represented here, but the actual gathering is taking place on Pueblo Indian territory. Albuquerque is situated in the heart of New Mexico. There are dozens of Native American reservations here. 19 are Pueblo.
The Pueblo people have been in this area of New Mexico for centuries.
Azela Humitawa is a full-blooded Pueblo who helps organize the yearly event.
It means a whole lot to us. We have so many different visitors from all over Indian country, First Nations in Canada, and many other Indigenous people all across the world who come on this weekend to converge together to make the gathering what it's really about, and that's sharing culture.
The Pueblo live very much the way their ancestors did. Adobe houses constructed of mud and straw, basic in nature, but practical for their environment. So much so, their building methods are seen everywhere, especially in downtown Santa Fe. Santa Fe is rich in culture. Local Native Americans sell their handmade crafts in the market.
The Pueblo people are a very proud people. We come from a very traditional background. A lot of our ceremonies are not open to the public because we want to keep the sacredness of our traditions alive.
Like most First Nations and Native Americans, the Pueblo struggle to keep their culture alive. In some respects, they are leading the way. The Gathering of Nations only helps to reinforce their efforts.
We have survived through our language and through our culture. I'm very proud to say that my own Pueblo, Kiwa Pueblo, has a very strong language base. A lot of the people, more than half of the people, even 3/4 of the people speak the language Keres, and they teach their young children Keres from a very early age.
Azela knows children well. She is a mother and a school teacher in downtown Albuquerque. The city has a population of over 600,000 and is home to thousands of Native Americans. Their historic ties to the area are reflected everywhere. In the hills, deserts, and valleys of New Mexico. It is very likely early generations of Pueblo stood here on Sandia Crest. What they saw was an untouched landscape. Who knows what they would think now? The view overlooking Albuquerque still spectacular, but now a vast expanse of homes, businesses, and freeways, all in sharp contrast to what the earliest tribes found special about Turtle Island. We're leaving Sandia Crest and heading back to the Gathering of Nations in Albuquerque right after this.
This Indigenous Circle special program is brought to you by the University of Saskatchewan.
There are Indians here from all four directions. Every tribe from Apache to Navajo to Cree are here. And there's a strong sense of spirituality and unity. The unity is forged through the goodwill that comes from the colors, the music, the dancing. It is a modern-day energy drink for those that have followed the powwow trail to New Mexico.
I think these venues give you that power, give you that strength to go out there. And sometimes it's tough, it's difficult, and people have fear. And I think our people need to go beyond fear to say the things that are truthful about our culture and about the way we're treated in society.
And that's why a powwow like this is so much more than music and dance. It's an educational tool. Derek Matthews explains it best. He spent months working with the University of New Mexico's administration to get them to embrace the powwow and the indigenous culture, which are so intimately linked.
We've got to kind of like teach them the culture as we move along, because they don't understand it at all. They don't understand what's going on or why it happens, why it takes place in the ways that it does.
But lack of knowledge is nothing new to the world's indigenous people.
Most people read about Native people and it's in a book or some fictionalized movie and they take that as fact. But here you can sit next to the dancers, you can talk to a drummer, you can hear these songs and take it in your head and take it back, and then when you see someone else, you can tell them what you actually saw.
In this place, everyone is welcome. Azela Humitawa sums it up best in her Pueblo language.
That means, how are you again, literally. And we would say something like, Goatsina Amerawa Hopa, not always ass, Giwa Meko Agoma Elsita. And basically, what I just said was hello, greetings, everybody. My name is Azella Humitiwa, and I'm from Giwa.
There are more than 500 tribes in North America. Over half are represented here. Vehicles from every state and Canadian province fill the parking lot. Inside, the stadium is a beehive of activity, dancers getting ready anywhere they can, a task not to be rushed. It is time for the grand entry, an occasion when all tribes dance together, styles as different as their respective cultures. Osmond Spotted Eagle is among them. He's part Choctaw from Oklahoma. He describes himself as a black Indian.
I dance powwows to keep the tradition of my ancestors.
It is a little-known fact that Native Americans and African Americans share a history that dates back to slavery. That relationship produced the tribe of black Indians. Osmond is proud of his heritage. He's been dancing men's traditional since he was 9 years old.
There are a lot of black Native Americans, but because we've been suppressed a lot of the times, that everybody likes to try to forget. So I wanted to bring it back in my family, so keep the tradition going.
William Moulin and Alexandra Biqueas are from the south of France. The francophone couple love everything to do with Native American culture.
Quelque chose de bon, je ressens surtout l'énergie qu'il y a de ce peuple qui se retrouve ensemble et qui est fier de ce qu'ils sont malgré tout ce qui se passe aujourd'hui aux États-Unis. Et je suis fier de partager ça avec eux.
He says he's very proud to be here and to share with Native Americans the dance, and he can feel the strength and the good feeling with around here. So it's good for us to be here and to share with different people.
What about the people here? How are they?
Very nice and good people.
We've got a great following across Europe, from England, Germany, and so on. And they come here because they're very interested in what's going on, and they sing the songs, they learn the songs rather, and they take them back, and they actually have a powwow circuit somewhere over in Europe.
Most North American powwows are set up the same way. Dancers come in from the east, dance in a circle, and are surrounded by drum groups. This is different. Dancers come in from opposite directions, and the stage and dance area itself are relatively small. Some welcome this style, others aren't so sure.
I thought it was very big, and I didn't know where the dancers were going to be dancing, but they were pretty far back.
I think the venue is really nice. I think it's really well organized with all the security and everything that they have. It seems like all the officials, all the workers know exactly where people can go and things like that. They're very helpful. I kind of wish in a way, though, that I could be down, standing around the drums and feeling the drums beating through the earth.
To me, it's really too commercialized, and it's not an arena that I'm used to, where it's just too big, and they shouldn't have all those banners and all that walkways and stuff like that. It should be like a regular arena where it's clean, nothing to walk on. Like a sidewalk there or whatever that is. That shouldn't be there. We should be where we walk on Mother Earth, instead of that, and dancing on Mother Earth too.
There is a reason the venue is set up as it is. The facility is a top-flight university football stadium.
Once again, you need to stay off the grass or you're going to go to jail.
Access to the field was restricted, impacting how organizers laid out the seating and dancing plan. But as the music begins, dance floor concerns are forgotten.
I was thinking, man, it's going to be like a little bit hard to get out on that floor, but it worked out because I don't know how Indians do it sometimes. We just make things work, eh? We could be dancing on the bleachers and it'd still be a cool show. Somehow we make it look good. Indians look good doing anything.
My mom had been here, I think, about 10 years ago, and she came back with just wonderful stories. Everything that she described to me now is happening is even more than I expected. It's beautiful. Everybody's so nice.
It's a beautiful space. It's a beautiful day, and why not? It should be great.
I wish you a successful powwow.
A view shared by the President of the United States, who reached out to the crowd using a very modern form of communication.
I want to take a moment to thank the Gathering of Nations for the outstanding work you're doing on behalf of the American Indian and Alaska Native communities. I also want to recognize all of the artists, dancers, singers, and spectators who are taking part in the 27th Annual Gathering of Nations powwow.
you just realize that this is the First Nations people. They were here before anybody, and they embody the whole spirit of America.
The spirit lives through everyone here, especially the thousands of young people attending. After all, they will define and build the future of all Native Americans. It is why the lessons learned on the powwow trail will influence generations to come.
Introducing language and culture into our young people is very, very, very important, because without the language and the culture, many of our students and children are lost when it comes to finding their identity.
These children aren't worried about issues like identity. For them, it is as it should be, all about fun, friends, and food. What do you like about being here?
It's a big powwow, and it's fun.
When they dance around.
What's the best part about being here?
Earning money.
What are you going to tell your friends when you tell them you went to the gathering?
That I won lots of money.
So, as the children play, the cool of a spring day is warmed not so much by the sun, but something more intangible.
It was a little on the chilly side, but you know, the spirits kept you warm.
And the spirits were watching. And their job was not just to shelter participants from the elements.
During the grand entry, when all of the dancers converge on the floor, it's just really, really spiritual. You can feel the positive energy that's all around, and all of the people and the blessings that they bring to our community, and in return the blessings that we give to the people that come from all over.
We're all related, you know, and you can really feel the ancestors when you're in an environment like this. You can feel the power, so it's really empowering.
Indigenous Circle's Gathering of Nations continues after this.
This Indigenous Circle special program is brought to you by the University of Saskatchewan.
Welcome back. The Gathering of Nations is not just about a powwow. It is a gathering in every sense of the word. And if you're into shopping, this is the place to be.
This one looks perfect on you.
There are more than 100 vendors here selling everything from art to jewelry.
And then we get ermines.
Vendor Jay DeLeon has been on the road for 30 years collecting and selling fur.
I carry weasels and wolves. I get my wolves and that from Canada, some otters, and I get leather from Minnesota. This is brain tan leather, buffalo. And then we get ermines, make different kinds of tails, make fur hats out of some of that stuff.
Further down the market, visitors get up close and personal with the bald eagle and other birds of prey. A picture costs $10. The vendors have been at the Gathering of Nations for more than 10 years. A visit to the market is always a highlight. Many of the items for sale can only be found here. Where else would you find a wooden handmade flute? Or blue sage tea?
There you go, that's a variety of sage and grease.
Outside the tent, a street designed for shoppers who work up an appetite. A popular dish, Indian tacos and fry bread.
$6 your change, thank you very much. We'll get you for you.
Warmer temperatures on day 2 was good for business, especially for lemonade stands. And this isn't your ordinary lemonade. It is hand squeezed and freshly made.
I'm a real Indian. I'm a full-blooded Indian.
Squeezed by real Indians. Argue amongst yourself. Yeah, would you like to?
That's what it is to be Indigenous, to laugh at ourselves. And even though we go through really hard times, it's good to laugh and smile, and it's healing, eh? And that's what's great about these kind of gatherings.
All right, here we go. This contest is called Whoever Has the Best Fry Bread Cheeks.
Indian humor was everywhere.
Big smile, big smile. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Stage 49 is a venue where comedians can perform away from the powwow.
No, it's okay. Stand there. Stand there. That's it.
The stage is also a place for hip-hop, blues, and rock and roll.
You know, after a powwow, that was always a big party somewhere else, and that term was listed everywhere. So what we wanted to do was make that our party spot in a good way, and it's all family oriented. So Stage 49 keeps that part of it in there as well.
The Gathering of Nations also hosts the Miss Indian World pageant. The evening before the big night, contestants showcase their various talents.
every tug of her needle, she taught me faith. With every tug of her needle, she taught me patience. With every tug of her needle, she taught me time heals.
Raquel Rope is from Carry the Kettle First Nation in Saskatchewan. Saturday night is the night the young women have been waiting for. It is time to crown the new Miss Indian World. Last year's Miss Indian World, Brooke Grant passes the crown to Dakota Brandt of the Six Nations in Ontario.
A few miles away from the gathering place, there's an event where physical endurance is pushed to its limits.
It's not powwow dancing, it's the all-nation skate jam, where all skaters, all races, and all tribes take part. Some are beginners while others are professionals.
When I started this 4 years ago, I knew that the gathering brought a lot of people from all over. And so this way, the young skaters that might not be able to get to somewhere else at a different time could jump in the van with the powwow dancers or drums or whatever and be able to get down here and compete on the same weekend.
Skateboarding is a culture within itself. Like the powwow, there is a feeling of unity and friendship.
It's a type of culture where as a skateboarder, you can go in about any community and be accepted and go ride with everyone, and everyone's cheering you on and patting you on the back when you pull a good trick and everything.
But really, this is what people are here for, the powwow. Chris Standing will return to university and get his degree at the U of S, but while here, he takes the weekend to just enjoy being part of a family, many of whom he's met on the powwow trail.
In a way, it reminds me of home because a lot of the people I've seen here are from my own territory. And then at the same time, I learn about different cultures, about the way they dress and the way they sing their songs and the languages they speak. And
judging by the crowds, everyone is happy to be here. This is a time to renew friendships, meet new people, and let your hair down. This is also about family time.
This is our first year here, actually. My granddaughter is the Red Mountain Eagle Powwow Princess, and we bring her to experience the powwows.
There's a saying among First Nations people, the ability to sing and dance is a gift from the Creator, and it's not our place to determine who is allowed to participate. They might well have added, if there is a place to do both, then it would be here. In the desert of New Mexico, surrounded by the rugged beauty of Sandia Crest, where North American First Nations culture thrives, a place for celebration, renewal, healing, and a fitting destination for life's journey along the powwow trail.
You have to be here to experience it. It's a great opportunity, and I'm just glad to be here.
Well, we did it. The Gathering of Nations is behind us, and what an experience it was. What did you think, Creeson?
I had a fun time, Nelson, seeing all the brown faces, and especially having the lemonade squeezed by a real Indian.
Yeah, that was great. Indian humor is so universal. Everywhere we went, people were laughing and having a good time, but all good things must come to an end.
That's right. We have to go back to Saskatchewan.
Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again.
Have a good night. Back on the road again.
Okay, I'll play the music. Right.
No. I'm picking the music this time.
I should have did that last time. This is my turn this time.
Fine. Here we go.